MiceGard is a short-action indie game looking to occupy you for a session's worth of time. My name's Yuo, and today we see if MiceGard is capable of holding your attention for this long, or if even that is too lofty a goal for these mice. Before we get into the review, I would like to thank the developers of MiceGard, Game Dynasty, for providing me with a key for this video. Now, what is MiceGard? It is a bite-sized, and I do mean bite-sized, game about a village of mice engaged in medieval warfare versus a legion of toads. Visually, the game looks great. While the environments are good enough, the focal points of MiceGard, the animals, look fantastic. From the designs to the way they are animated, MiceGard does a great job of making them look like believable beings that would exist in this world. MiceGard chose an interesting route in terms of gameplay and decided to make it a squad-based game. For the majority of levels, you control 6 mice. The whole squad shares 1 health bar. Each time a mouse is hit, the health bar depletes, and when it reaches 0, you die. The game uses WASD for movement and J and K for combat actions. You can switch squad formations with 1 through 3. Formation 1 is free formation, and the mice will walk around and attack of their own accord while you control a singular one. This formation did not have much use unless you had to destroy rocks for resources, or were using it to move around faster when the dash was on cooldown. Formation 2 is your range formation, used for, you guessed it, ranged attacks. Formation 3 is for when you are surrounded by enemies and need to guard on all fronts. The game does a good job of providing reasons to use both Formation 2 and 3 during a level, although the source of most of my deaths during the early game was the awkwardness of Formation 2. Your characters move slowly and turn slow, so sometimes your mice get suicide bombed without you being able to react in time. As you get used to the clunkiness, you're able to react better, but still feels bad. Overall though, this works as the core mechanic and was a lot of fun. I just wish there was more to the game. MiceGard takes place over 16 levels, although one of those is a cutscene and 2 levels are minigames. The regular levels have you either going from point A to point B or collecting items, all while fighting off hordes of toads. While the objectives themselves weren't interesting, controlling the squad of mice against toads was a lot of fun, and if this part of the game was fleshed out and longer, the developers had something here. Instead, the already short experience has 2 minigame levels. The minigame levels are not good. One is this ballista level, where you move up and down while spamming the attack button. The other is this boat level, where you move up and down while spamming the attack button. While I appreciate them trying to break up the core gameplay, these levels should have been cut. The ballista section legitimately is just 2 minutes of killing weak toads until you win. Same with the boat section. No boss, no hidden mechanic, nothing. There is also base building, where you repair buildings with resources you find that give different bonuses. There's not much depth to this, just repair buildings when you can. Spoilers for the final level, skip here if you don't want to be spoiled. Throughout the game, you are forced to make choices that essentially boil down to, do you support the gods or not? I went against the gods for most of my options, and before I went to the final boss, I visited the god Freya. She basically says, you have turned your back on me, I know how to deal with you, be gone. When I fought the final boss, which by the way was not good, he just stands there to get beat down except for this jump attack that does 0 damage. Freya showed up and said I will stand by your side, and the toad acknowledged he had to fight a god. But right before you kill the boss, she gets pissed you're winning and leaves, while the toad says she offered almost no benefit to him anyway. I don't know if this section was bugged and played the intro like I had her blessing and the ending like I didn't, or if there was a mistranslation, because this did not make sense. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The game's marketing says MiceGard is a 1 evening experience of heroism and mystery. 1 evening might be a bit generous because it took me 96 minutes to finish the game. I liked MiceGard, although it definitely has its flaws. If MiceGard was $5, I could recommend it all day. The art and core gameplay create a concise experience that is worth buying, but even with a launch discount, they are asking $10.39 Canadian, usually $12.99, for a 96-minute game that has its peaks and definitely has its valleys. At that price, the game is neither long enough nor polished enough to justify the cost. And it hurts to say that, but to me, this is more a proof of concept than an actual game. If you have played MiceGard before or other indie games worth checking out, post your thoughts below. I really liked MiceGard, but I could not justify the price at this current level of content and polish. I believe that developers could turn this concept and world into an indie game people would love and adore, but currently this is not it. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe if you aren't. It helps the channel grow. My name's Yuo, and I'll see you in the next one.